Everybody, I'm Shelly Palmer, and welcome to Cannes. I am at the MasterCard Villa here for Brand Innovators and Shelly Palmer, which is me, and I am honored to be here with Dave Kline, who is the CEO of Spectrum Reach and the Executive Vice President of Charter Communications. Dave, how are you?
I'm pretty good. That's a hell of a title I have.
You do. That's an extraordinary title, actually. So, how are you?
I'm doing well and busy as hell so far. It's only Monday, and I'm already tired, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of people to see. And there's a lot of business to be done here. So I'm glad to be here.
No, we're happy to have you. What's on your mind? What are you seeing? Like, I know this has been already like a week this day. So what have you been seeing?
Well, you know, it was funny because last year, everything was a buzz of AI, 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 AI. And it still is. But, you know, here we are a year later, and Spectrum Reach has actually dabbled in that a little bit. Now, I'm far from an expert in AI, but I'll tell you, we've been able to, in the local sales business where we have 25, 30,000 customers on our air at any time, we found a way to use AI in literally minutes to create camera ready, television ready, creative that can go right on the air for smaller to mid-sized businesses. And it's all done through AI. And you put in the URL and the rest just happens. And we've created over 7,000 commercials for customers using pure AI. It's generated, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars for us. So, you know, I mean, I know that it sounds like a lot of hype and there's a lot going on with AI, but we found a very practical use for it. And it's really helping to change our business.
So when a salesperson goes into a local business, and of course, creative is such an important part of being able to run a meaningful campaign on cable. How do they approach the skeptical business owner? Hi there, we're going to make a commercial for you in AI. It's going to be great. Like, what's the pitch?
Many times we come in with the commercial already done, and we have automated ways of developing in seconds a highly optimized schedule to find the right customers that they're trying to reach. So you can walk in. You know, usually the barrier to entry for television was the creative. How do you have the creative? And then the other barrier was, geez, you know, it's got to be expensive. But we are so steeped in television and in streaming at Spectrum Reach, it goes everywhere. And it gets there for pennies on the dollar for the creative, and the schedule's just running. I'll tell you, it's working for many local clients. And we've got thousands and thousands of customers, but this is going to help us open up the floodgates for even more. And Shelly, the part that's got me excited is, if you remember, I don't even know, you probably know, what was the year that the iPhone came out?
It's 2000, I want to say 8. Someone check me on this.
Well, whatever. It's in that era.
Yeah.
Think about what that iPhone did then. It was amazing to everybody.
Mobile changed everything.
Yeah, think about it. And think about what that iPhone does today. You know, the 15 versus the whatever, the first one that came out.
iPhone.
I think the AI and creative is going to evolve that way. And I think it's not going to be just for small customers. I think it's going to be for anybody who wants a message on, video media.
So the creative obviously is evolving incredibly quickly, and you guys were really early adopters. Part of what makes cable work and streaming work is the media mix. And I know you've been using AI to do that for a long time. So you guys are no strangers to AI. Are the clients more willing to let you use automation to help them craft the best media mix?
Yes, they are. But you know what? It didn't happen overnight. Honestly, it took a long time. Not only did we have to train our salespeople to say, just don't sell them 5 channels on the top networks. Show them the data. And we have the best viewership data in the business on streaming and on television, all privacy compliant. You know, we don't ever divulge anybody's personal information, but we can get a better glimpse of what people watch and how they watch it. And we build schedules that are incredibly optimized for them. And we build creative that's really hard hitting for them to message whatever they want to message. And, you know, it really has worked. You know, I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This works.
This one works. When I think about the local television business writ large, including streaming, just just video communication, clearly there are new formats and new form factors. There's shorts and reels and TikTok, and then there's long form of every kind. Are you guys able to adapt to these new form factors, or are you pretty much just focused on linear? Well,
we're focused on both linear and streaming, but the new formats are hard. Like a 6-second ad is more difficult for us because we don't have a vendor yet that can help us with that.
Right.
I'm sure that will come. Right now, what we do are 30-second ads, 15-second ads, 60-second ads. And, as you know, pharma is becoming a bigger and bigger and bigger advertiser, and they need a full 60 seconds, so they can...
The disclaimer alone.
And we've heard that it may even go to 90s.
Wow.
Because of those disclaimers. So yes, but some of the formats we've really leaned into on streaming, I'd say they're less formats and they're more the platform. We're one of the biggest streamers in our markets. If you look at the numbers we have on our Spectrum TV app, we're as big as any other streamer in our market. Plus we have all the linear, and while linear is shrinking, it's a slow shrink. It's a melting ice cube.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Local businesses, I grew up, my dad and my mom and dad own music stores. You can't have a more local business than the local retail music store, like during school music rental season or whatever. And, it was hard to afford radio and cable back in the day, and you had to figure out the efficacy. And now you guys just deliver all of that, which is really interesting. It seems to me that there is an unlimited amount of local business to be had compared to the national business. They're all sophisticated, but local, they really need the help.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking back in my own childhood, just how much we needed to know that we didn't know. What do you see as is this the new frontier? 7 million local customers? Is that what we're going for?
Well, it's not new because our competitors have that.
Yes, they do.
But what we have is we have highly localized. And you know what we are? We have thousands of commercial salespeople running around to all their customers and helping them optimize their plans and being a consultative seller to say, this is what works. Here's your media mix. You know what? Let's give you X amount of television. Let's give you X amount of online. Let's give you X amount of streaming. You can buy here programmatically. That's what's lacking in local. Yeah, if you're a national advertiser, a lot of the networks that we have now, streamers that, traditionally have a few hundred advertisers. We've had thousands. So our secret sauce is our people. And people and inventory are our two biggest assets. And we handle them both with kid gloves. And I think our local people are the difference now and will be the difference as things get more and more fragmented and complex.
So our audience today is brand marketers. This is an AI for Brand Marketers Summit. And most of our audience are chief marketing officers or people who are deeply involved in the buying and selling of advertising. Talk to me a little bit about where a CMO would even begin to interface with Spectrum Reach. I mean, it's local advertising. Someone else does that. But you guys are able to slice and dice the inventory so beautifully that as a CMO, I should be able to just come to you. But how would I even do it?
Yeah, well, look, I'll be quite frank. Many times the CMOs are right to go to depending on their products that they're trying to promote, to go to, the places with the biggest reach. Makes it much more efficient for them. But you know what? If you're a brand advertiser and you're selling a product that's only used in the winter and not throughout why do you go? You'd want to use us to hit markets in the Northeast and the upper Midwest. And we have a company that we own called Ampersand, that we're us and Comcast, some of the biggest cable companies, and Cox Media, we all own it. And it does exactly that. It makes it simple for a brand marketer if they want to reach the top 20 markets, north of the Mason-Dixon line. I know you remember that. It is easy to do with an Ampersand, because let's face it, you don't need, Miami and Houston, Texas, and LA if you're selling products that are predominantly used in the winter. So, we think brand marketers should do what's most efficient for them, but I think they should give a very good look at regional and national spot business, not only on television, but on streaming, because, Ampersand's armed with the biggest universe for addressable TV, but also got tons of streaming inventory. So we're not the old-fashioned cable company, as you might have thought. We've really modernized, and we're the behemoth in all our markets, and we have more impressions than anybody has to sell, and we can make life easy for the right customers.
Yeah, that's the question. So if you are a brand marketer, how do you know you are the right customer? I mean, obviously the regionalization is clear. And do I go to my ad agency? Do I go to my planning and buying agency? Who do I go to get the...
You should go, most of them go to their ad agency, and that's their job. That's why they're paying them a commission, to go find the most efficient, easiest way to reach the customers they want with the message they want.
Yeah, I mean, look, and
we do a lot of business, believe me, with agencies, and we do a lot of business direct.
I was going to ask what the mix is, right?
We do both. Yeah. We'll do whatever is easiest for that customer. And we find the agencies are very receptive, and, we do a lot of business through Ampersand. It's a couple $2 billion business. And, but, we'll do direct deals when advertisers want us to.
Yeah. Switching gears. So we started by talking about AI for creative, but there's so many other places that we're seeing point solutions and function solutions being adopted by our clients. I know that you're thinking about productivity across the enterprise. What's your vision for AI at Spectrum Reach?
Well, if you could help me define what AI is, because sometimes I get mixed up. What's AI and what's machine learning?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, look, we have literally 33 million linear television spots to fulfill each year, and we have incredible amount of billions of impressions on streaming. So machine learning is really important, because you can't synthesize that much inventory and try and optimize it that quickly. Human beings just can't do it. So, I always get a little, I know what we're doing with AI for creative. I don't know if it's machine learning or AI.
I'd simplify it. And
you're the guru.
No. I simplify it and just tell everybody, forget the jargon. Think of it as super automation. Like, what functions in the organization, whether it's the marketing organization, the distribution organization, sales organization, do you want to super automate? And little bits at a time. Do we want to look at media mix optimization? Do we want to look at pre-buy and post-buy, like reporting? Like, what little point solution do we feel like we could super automate? And then you go after it. Like, whether it's machine learning, whether it's artificial intelligence, whether it's generative AI, whether it's convolutional neural networks, none of that matters. Like, that's for the engineers to decide. Here we're talking about, what do we want to super automate? And I know that you couldn't even function without AI in the house, and it's been there a while. And I know that because we've helped a lot of companies exactly like yours over the years do this. This is, I guess everybody thinks AI was invented on November 30th, 2022. It clearly wasn't. That's when ChatGPT became a consumer product, right? So neural networks have been vigorously deployed for at least the last 15 years by our company, and longer from others. And I'd say we've had transformer networks deployed for clients over the last 4 or 5 years. They're only 7 years old, but over the last 4 or 5 years, we've started to use it. And 2 years ago, consumers became aware of it, as did CEOs. My favorite story is that I got a call, so I won't mention the CEO's name, about mid-December of 2022, which is right after ChatGPT came out. And the person says to me, "Have you seen this thing?" Meaning ChatGPT. I'm like, "Yeah, tell me about it." He goes, "Well, my wife made this unbelievable packing list for our trip to wherever he was going. And then he said, and I just wrote this birthday poem for my kid. This is amazing. Have you seen it?" And I'm like, "Would it surprise you to learn we have 4 transformer models running on your premises right now?" He goes, "No, you don't." I said, "Yes, we do." And I told him where they were and how we were using autocomplete and like all the various functions of autocomplete models inside his enterprise. And he was like stunned. It's like, no, this isn't new.
Well, in that case,
it's not.
We're using AI because there's just so much data, and nobody has more viewership data, on streaming or linear television, traditional television, than we do. But it's impossible to synthesize. So if we want to know if some car dealer in Santa Barbara, California wants to do a promotion, we want to have the last 3,000 local car dealer ads and what worked for them and how did it work for them and what was their media mix, and have that done in seconds. So that, to me, maybe that's called machine learning, maybe that's called AI, but that's what we want to ultimately get to. And right now we're doing it in bits and pieces, but as time moves on, we're going to continue to iterate and get better and better at it. And believe me, no one has a better mousetrap than we do locally, because we can see, again, in a privacy compliant way, what people have watched, what set tops were tuned to a certain ad. Did they go to the website? Did they go to the car dealer? We know. It's deterministic. We're not guessing. And that makes us very valuable. But you know what? It gets even more valuable when you can use even more granular data, stuff that you can't do easily, by hand, to help these marketers promote themselves.
Just to get silly for a minute. So spot is spot. You guys have been selling spot advertising since the earth was cooling. Basically, now you have the ability, with the data sets you have, with a little super automation thrown in there, to give me performance data, real performance data. Is that in my future at Spectrum Reach?
It absolutely is. It's called attribution, and that's part of what I was speaking of. We really, we don't have we have millions of devices deployed in our footprint. Again, not that I'm a guru, but in Cleveland, Ohio, maybe Nielsen has 1,000 boxes.
Right. Yeah.
We have over millions of devices collecting. So when someone says, "Did you see the ad on television? And did you go to the website, or did you go to the car dealer, or did you go to the grocery store?" We have the data in aggregate, de-identified, but we have the data that says, yes, you did. And we can give you a lift analysis. There's a lot we can do with the data, and we've leaned into it heavily. As a matter of fact, I made an investment for Charter in ComScore a few years back. We had invested in 605, which was the Dolan venture that's now part of iSpot.
Mm-hmm.
So we're big believers in data and using data to help the customer better. But you know what? It's a bear. There's so much of it that you have to find automated ways to use it, or it won't do you any. You'll drown in it.
Well, that's a mic drop moment for sure. Dave Kline, who is the CEO of Spectrum Reach and the Executive Vice President.
Well, I'd like to be the CEO, but I'm the President of Spectrum Reach. But there is no CEO, so I'll take the title.
You take CEO?
I'll take that.
I promoted you
for no extra money.
Dave, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am Shelly Palmer. This is Brand Innovators at the MasterCard Villa in Cannes. And I've been with Dave Kline, who's the president of Spectrum Reach. I got that right. I've been schooled in it. And EVP at Charter Communications. We will see you next time.